Hey everybody, bringing you a special review early from New York Comic Con with the NYCC Mezco 112 exclusive Red Skull classic version. So to get started on the review, we're going to talk about a few things. Special thanks to Mezco for allowing me to review these early, and we're going to talk about the awesome Red Skull classic version. So one of the things I want to talk about right away is that in the promo shots, especially for Red Skull, they didn't talk about the armband. So I think that is pretty cool that they included the Hydra armband. It is attached to the actual full bodysuit, so you can't take it off. But I think it's really cool to actually have that. So I'm really a big fan of that. It's like having a Hydra thing. It's also part of his belt here. This is not removable. It's a semi-cloth, semi-plastic waistband that actually, oh wait, I was wrong. You can actually unplug it. So you can actually take this off. I was not aware. I tried it before, and for some reason it didn't come off. But Red Skull's entire green jumpsuit can actually just be whoop, just like that one belt. So the plug piece is actually right here behind the gun. Just be a little careful with it, because like I said, I may have tugged the wrong way, but now mine just popped right off real easy. The holster is actually really soft. I'm a big fan of that because you don't, well, the top part is soft. The bottom is a harder plastic. But the reason why I'm a fan of that is because what happens is that you don't want to run, bump, drop something, or things like that, especially when you want to put the gun inside. We'll get into that in a second. But I'm a big fan of that. Overall, the body is really nice. It is a different and unique, slimmer design. I think it's closer to the Judge Dredd design, at least body-wise. So Skull can actually, if you put him in a vehicle, can sit. The boots can rotate. Now, I know if you guys are going to watch the Wolverine review first, I'll tell you right now, if you're worried about the ankle pivot, it's not going to really happen too much on this, but it does rotate pretty well once you apply a little therapy to it, if you work it around. But it won't be anywhere near as good as Wolverine. But it is pretty good. As you can see, it can rotate all the way in this far, especially with the boot being able to rotate here at the cuff. So I think that's really cool. There's thigh rotation also that you obviously can't see, but it's there in the figure. So it's something that you can actually look forward to. Ab crunch goes down about this far. So with that and the legs going up, you can see just about as far as you can get. So you can knee Captain America in the head if you really wish to do that attack. Arms go all the way up. And the suit is baggy enough that allows Red Skull to put his arm up. Now my Red Skull armor is a little tight. I'm going to try to gently apply more therapy over it over time. Just not right now during the review. But as you can see, it can go about this far up. And the arm rotates all the way down. The arm is double jointed, so it's not much to worry about. You can actually roll the sleeve up as well. I wouldn't recommend that though. It might get caught in the joints. The arm also has bicep swivel. So be aware of that. I love the nice addition of the green gloves. It's a nice classic nod to the Red Skull and being that way. Now, after talking with Pierre, especially about Red Skull, one of the issues that they were having was the neck peg being too long. So obviously, if it was too long, it wouldn't be able to work here. So they shortened it and kept it at a nice angle, so that way, when you want to swap heads, because they keep that in, they definitely keep swapping heads in mind, is that you would be able to have a range of motion, especially on the modern version when it releases. So you actually get a nice range here. And I like that. I like that they keep in mind that people may want to swap or put the classic heads on the modern version and vice versa. So they leave it to be compatible, which is really cool. They wanted to make it work universally. I'm a big fan of that. Now, as you can see, Red Skull also comes here with this gun. It is a German-like gun. Not a big fan of guns, so I'm sorry if I don't know. But if you know it in the comments, please let somebody know. There's also a silencer to it, or a futuristic look, depending on how you look at it. It could be a plasma pistol for all we know. You know, they mess around with novel technology in Marvel Comics. It actually fits in the holster really well. It goes forward this way, slides right in. So as you can see, his sidearm actually holds and hides pretty well. It's really dope. I like this design a lot. I didn't think that I was going to like Red Skull as much as I did, but the more I play with it, the more I'm like, this is really nice. Especially since the head sculpt is really well done. It has the blue eyes. It has the dead-on look. It just has a really great look for Red Skull. That no matter what you do with it, it just looks absolutely menacing. And I like that. Let's leave him like that. Let's set the mood. Red Skull also comes with an alternative head. that look like he's going absolute batshit crazy. And I am a huge fan of this. It's like John Cassaday art here. The sculpting is really spot on with this. It's so much that I'm enjoying this. I really wish that I can get another one so I can just do more with it. But this is done really well. It looks like he's angry. He is facing defeat. It's just overall just really surprised. Whereas the other face is just absolutely menacing, which is really dope. He comes with one hand, and that's for holding his Cosmic Cube. One right hand for holding Cosmic Cube. No left hand to do it, just this one. So you actually can get some cool stuff with it. I like the design of this Cosmic Cube. It's a little different. It's more like a foggy lavender as opposed to the one that's constantly done in Marvel Legends, which is clear blue. And I tested them. They're just about the same size, if not the same size. The one really cool thing that's different about this one, though, I tested it, is that it glows in the dark. I found out from Pierre, because otherwise I would not have known that it glows. But it actually does glow in the dark, and I think that's really cool. Then you also get a couple other hands. Now this hand, I believe, this is the hand for holding other weapons as well as the Flamethrower really well. But I think it's a little too small. So I think it's for holding weapons like a knife or other weapons like that, which obviously come with the modern Red Skull. Again, they're planning and prepping for you to hold and have more. This one is actually holded for the Flamethrower. So we'll get into that right now. Red Skull actually, and I was completely and utterly surprised by this, comes with a really cool Flamethrower. The design is really nice. The weapon is, the wiring is actually soft enough so that way you don't break it. The harness is a combination of new parts and some parts from the Punisher tactical vest. So that's really cool. And to get it on, I usually just pop the head off. I turn one arm up. And again, I'm being a little careful because like I said, my right arm for some reason is a little tight. So we're going to just pop this on, get it on the body. Make sure we move the weapon out of the way. And if you want, just so you guys can know, what's going to happen is that, make sure I get the light on this. You place it right under on the left-hand side, and voila, it fits right on. So what's really dope about this is that the Flamethrower actually looks really good, and I'm going to put the crazy head on. Because I feel like if Red Skull actually had a Flamethrower, he would absolutely lose his shit. So actually, for the trigger finger that holds the actual pistol is also the same for the Flamethrower. I'm just going to put it in one hand because Red Skull can actually hold it with both. So it's actually a double-handed weapon, but if you want to hold it with one hand because, you know, Red Skull is either super strong or super crazy, but either way it works out. But it looks really cool with it. And I had no idea he was coming with the Flamethrower. I just thought we were going to get a classic body. So when I opened the box, I was quite surprised to see that, especially when I saw it on the show floor at NYCC. It's really dope. So as you can see, you can actually do a lot with it when you swap the other hand in. And let me just actually work this out. Because here's my issue. How am I going to rotate joints really well? And I want to make sure I do it right. Like Mezco said, get right in this mother. Get real in this mother. Yep, there we go. So as you can see, he can hold it up with two hands. I'm actually being a little lazy. Let me finish and set that flush. Works really well. I'm going to leave the Flamethrower in hand. Now, real quick, I want to show you guys a size comparison of Red Skull with other figures. Here he is next to the classic Captain America. He's smaller, slimmer, the opposite of what Captain America is. He is wide, he is bold, he's in your face. So there's a difference between that. So real quick, I also want to show you what he looked like next to some Hydras and with a Marvel Legends Red Skull head. As you can see, it looks good, but compared to the Mezco one, especially compared to the Mezco one, I just think that the Mezco pretty much nailed the more menacing version of him. It looks really good though. Here he is next to an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Agito. And as you can see, most SHF is actually smaller. So the Mezco 1/12 scale stuff is actually pretty good. Fits in with your Legends. It fits in with your other line. Here he is next to a Crossbones. And we all know Crossbones is a big guy. So I think this works really well. And here he is next to an AI ninja. I don't think Nazis have ever fought ninjas, but just in case, he's a little smaller. But I think that Red Skull is actually a really great height right now to work with your legends, to work with your SHF, to work with anything you would actually want to do, especially if you're gonna army build Hydras. So I think they work really well because they're still either around the same height or a little smaller than him, as you can see. I'm really excited because I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. I didn't know what to expect actually. I go in blind, and when I get stuff like this, and I'm always pleasantly surprised. I thought I was gonna be disappointed by the ankle rockers, but the more I tested it and played with it, the more I was like, okay, they're actually doing a job to actually work stuff out. So as you can see, you can go pretty far across with the ankle rockers, whereas before, this was a huge issue, especially for some people. So we have something to work with now, and I think this is really good. This is going to be a definite step in the right direction, especially for Mezco. I hope you found this informative. I hope you found it good. I hope you actually enjoyed everything about it, for real. In the meantime, guys, do good, be good, drink your water. Later.